Nice hot sunny day in California. I think it got to 97 degrees today. 100 degrees today. Yet we still got to make money. It's Monday. Time to work. All right, this is a special unplanned Facebook Live. I was doing a crypto talk earlier this morning, and I had an idea because one of the things that we covered was where are the women or women in crypto industry? And every now and then I bring that topic up. I think I did it for the first time back in September, October of last year. Where are the women in crypto? Women will dominate this space if they knew it or knew how. They would dominate. And so I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step, some basic things that you could be doing right now to have immediate success and long-term success based on positioning in the crypto space. It is hot as heck out here. I need like a hat or something. So we're going to cover that. And you can take notes. But first, let's go back to some of the basics. You know, last year I began my crypto journey when I made my career transition from MLM to the crypto space. And a friend of mine who is actually on here right now even said, you know, last year, it seems like you are all into this crypto stuff. So that was true, and there was a reason why. So I went from dabbling in it. You know, last year we were messing around and buying some Litecoin and buying some Bitcoin on Coinbase, and we set up an account and didn't take it too serious at the time. I didn't fully believe in it. I didn't fully understand it, but all I saw was that the price of Bitcoin kept going. We're making a whole lot of money. So once I started to study it, it's like the entire world just opened up for me. A light bulb went off. I had a complete change in my focus, in my direction. Now the goal has never changed. The goal of not just financial freedom, but financial wealth, for generational wealth, that never changed. But the vehicle on what I was going to use to make that happen did. And I retired from MLM and came into the cryptocurrency space. And two things I found out that made that possible. The first thing was, I realized that cryptocurrencies represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. Now that last part is important, the most amount of people, because I say that there's always been shifts in wealth before. There's always been industrial revolutions in the past, but they have been only for a select few. They have been blocked out for the most amount of people. But because of Bitcoin, there is no barrier of entry. There is no wall holding you back. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your sex, your creed, what language you speak, what color your skin is, what country you were born in, what family you were raised in. None of that matters. If you have access to a cell phone and internet and $5 in your pocket and a willingness to learn, then you can have complete financial freedom. No excuses. The problem, though, is that most people don't even know that this is an option. They don't even know that this is going on. So even though it's available for everybody, most people don't even know that the game is being played to even step on the field. So one is a lack of crypto awareness. One of the reasons why you don't see a lot of women in this space. Another reason for that is the early adopters of crypto were basically the internet nerds. You know, the gamers that had all of these powerful computers, and they started to mine Bitcoin and talk about the programming and the white paper and the technology behind it. And, you know, it was a certain group of people, and that just didn't really appeal to most women. And then as it started to adapt, it started to grow, and you started having investors coming into the space. You know, really, it didn't speak the language of women. But I'm here to tell you that it speaks the language of women more than anything, because we're dealing with E-commerce part 2. Who does most of the shopping? Who does most of the purchasing? Who directs how our economy is adapted based on supply and demand? It's the needs of women. Women represent half the population around the world. And they do most of the spending and have most of the money. Most advertising is always geared towards women and children, not men. So the fact that they don't even know this is taking place is a shame. The second thing that drove me to this space the way it is blockchain technology. I started to look at the technology. Cooling down. Oh, this is saying I need to get into the shade. My phone is overheating a bit. All right, so let me do this. All right, this should work a little better. You can see me clearly. All right, the next thing is the technology behind it. The blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology. And this is, I mean, I'm trying, how can I break this down in a short period of time? Once I started to understand that and break it down, there's a couple of things, you know, I figured out. The blockchain technology represents the greatest invention since the internet. It's one of the greatest inventions that mankind has ever done. All right, we're back. I apologize for that technical difficulty earlier. I should have known. It is 104 degrees out here right now, and I was in the sun, in the pool. I was nice and cool, but the phone was overheating. So when I finish with these, I'm going to combine the two recordings together so that they will be, you have the first part and the second part, they go hand in hand. So let's see, I left off, I was talking about, you know, women in the space of cryptocurrency. And cut it out, I'm looking right at you. My kids are still in the pool. So anyways, I was talking about women in the space of cryptocurrency, and what made me jump into this space is the revelation I had. I talked about the fact that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic opportunity in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. And I explained why. But the second thing that got my attention was the fact that blockchain, the technology behind cryptocurrency, once I really started to understand it, did my research, realized that it represents the greatest, one of the greatest inventions in human history. Now, by itself, it means nothing, but it's built on the back of other inventions like the internet. So it's the internet 2.0. And that blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet. Every single industry. The other thing about that is the fact that most people don't even know that this is taking place. They don't even know that this exists. But I knew. Like I said, a friend of mine last summer was like, "Hey, you're all into this crypto thing all of a sudden." So I started doing my research. And when people ask me that question, my response is, why aren't you? If you knew or understood it the way I do, you wouldn't be able to think of anything else. Everything you would be doing would be towards this space. So the topic is about women. Where are the women in crypto? And as a woman, how can you take full advantage of this space financially for the ultimate goal of earning a full-time income off of this? And I'm not talking about 30,000 a year, 50 or 60,000 a year. I'm talking about 6 figures a year and more. Actually, I would talk more than that, maybe 7 figures or more. But as full transparency, I make more than 6 figures a year in this space, so I want to make sure that I'm only speaking on that which I have accomplished. And I've been investing in this space in less than a year. Okay, so just imagine where we're going to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now. So, speaking on that, and I need my sunglasses to really kick in on me. I don't like looking at myself, so let my sunglasses Great, come in. All right. Now, it doesn't see you guys. So what I realize is that, or what we're going to talk about as far as women, there's two things that you can do, or two types of women in this space. A woman that has a lot of resources, meaning you've got a lot of money at your disposal. You're able to make investments. You're not sweating that part of it. And then you have the women that don't have resources at all. So I'm going to show you how both women can dominate this space, and then I'm going to give you a third thing that all women can do, whether you have resources or not, to really take yourself to the next level for full financial freedom, economic freedom. All right, so how do we do this? Let's start with number one, education. Whether you are experienced in this space, whether you have no experience whatsoever, as a woman, before you do anything, before you start investing, before you start buying coins, the first thing you need is education. And this is costing you money, okay? I advise, and as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I share my opinion and give suggestions, and it is up to you to decide what course of action you want to take. Do your own research. So I'm basically giving you my suggestion, my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm 100% right. There might be a better way. It doesn't mean that my way is right for everybody. But I'm going to be as generic as I can that will cover everybody with the goal. The goal is financial freedom in the crypto space as a woman. So number one, education. Spend $300. First, you got to get yourself a Bitcoin wallet. Put $300 worth of Bitcoin in it, and get the Cryptogenics education program. And then go through it. It can take you a week. It could take you a month. It might take you 2 or 3 months, depending on how much time you have. But go through the entire education, the whole platform. This is going to give you a leg up on most people out there. You're not going to see crypto education courses at every single college. And even if there are, how many of you are going to pay all that money to go get educated at a college? So this is cheap, yet effective education put on by some professionals. $300, Cryptogenics education. And it's not just the 45 lessons, but it is also the ongoing lessons. The reason why I do 2 crypto talks a day is part of my own educating myself. I'm staying current and up to date on what's going on in the crypto space. And that knowledge is priceless. This is something that nobody could take from you. You might make money in this space, you might lose money in this space, but the one thing is you will never lose your education in this space. And you're always building on that. You're always learning more and more and more. And the education will allow you to see opportunities and be able to, was a first type, one that had resources for investing, second, a woman that has no resources. That's what I'm talking about. Right now, I'm telling you, this is what all women should do, whether you have the resources or not. Spend the $300 to get your crypto education on. If you don't have any resources and you spend $300 on education, and then you got a woman out there that does have the resources and she doesn't get educated, you're way ahead of the game than her. Because 9 times out of 10, she's going to end up losing a lot of money, and that's how she's going to learn, by trial and error. You don't want to go through trial and error here. Now, it is important that you have experience, but have educated experience. You make educated risks, not just wild, I'm playing the lotto type risks. Okay, so education is the key. That is something that is non-negotiable. I will not invest with anybody. I will not spend time with anybody that tells me they have no desire to go through any type of crypto education. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're a walking risk. and I can't invest with you. I can't associate with you in that aspect. Good luck. I wish you the best. But if you don't value the education portion of it, then I mean, you're playing craps doing this. Okay, so you got your education down, right? Now we're going to talk about a woman who's got resources. This is what she can do. And I mean, right now, you want to start to develop your crypto portfolio for the long term. So, you're either going to take a lot of money and start to purchase crypto coins. Which coins should you purchase? Now, this is where I got to be careful. I cannot legally say you should buy this coin. Obviously, you want to get Bitcoin. Bitcoin is cheap right now. $7,400 a coin, $7,200 last time I looked. You're also looking at the fact that all the bears out there are predicting that Bitcoin is going to shoot up to 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. This is a long-term buy and hold type of game. So this is a long-term investment move. You're going to buy the coin and you're going to sit on it and you want to hold it. At the bare minimum, at least invest and own one coin. One coin at best. And forget that you even have it. Then you want to expand your crypto portfolio. If you don't have the education yet, the knowledge on how to spot certain ICOs or new and upcoming developing coins, then you're always safe looking at the top 10 coins. You know, you got Ethereum, Ripple, Dash, Cardano, Stellar, you know, and the top 10 kind of fluctuates. But coins has been around for a couple of years as well. Again, this is not a immediate play. This is a long term. So the more coins you have, the more money you're going to make long term as they start to appreciate in value. That's how you've seen some crypto Bitcoin millionaires walking around, because they bought Bitcoin when it was worth $300 something a coin, and today it's worth over $7,000. And they didn't just buy 1 or 2 Bitcoin. They might have 15, 20, 50, 100 Bitcoin when it was cheap. So that's one thing that if you've got the resources, you can invest in that. Another thing you can do is invest in blockchain technologies. Spend the money on going to conventions, blockchain expos, cryptocurrency expos. I cannot guarantee that you're actually going to learn much at these expos, because that's not what they're really designed to do. It's more for exposure. But what you will do is put yourself in the space, and you'll meet individuals, and you'll meet people, and you'll hear about ideas, and you might see something worthwhile to invest in. And these are people that's got a couple $100,000 and they invest in a blockchain technology startup or an ICO, and as that appreciates, you know, they just flipped $200,000 into $2 million in 12 months. So that's another. Now I'm talking if you've got the resources as a woman, you've got the resources. So you already got the education part down. You're investing in coins to hold for the long term, and you're now investing in blockchain businesses. This one is for those that don't have the resources or limited resource. Something that I would suggest you do right now. It is a fact that blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today. Every single one. So, one industry that you want to pay attention to is the power industry, electricity. It's been around for 100 years and has been unchanged in the way it's done. Uber has transformed the taxi industry. Airbnb has transformed the hotel industry. Whoever can transform the power industry is going to make a killing. And you started to see this happen, one, with the invention of solar power. So you see people getting solar powers on their roofs and whatnot for environmental friendly stuff. But then you start to see, in the end of the 90s, companies like ACN started taking advantage of deregulation of gas and electricities. And that's where the government, Bill Clinton signed a bill back in 96 or 97, to deregulate all electricities to allow for competition into the space, because it was monopolized. Here in Southern California, all we got is, Southern California Edison. But there are other third-party providers that you can go through and you were able to get some discounts. I never fully understood the technology behind how it worked, how if I'm still getting my power from Edison, then why is my bill cheaper if I'm going through ACN? I never fully understood all that, and you don't have to. All I knew is it worked. Then you've seen companies like Ambit Energy or what was that other one, American something, network marketing companies, that all they did was trying to save people on their electricity bill by signing up with their company. So this has been going on for the past 20 years. But now, because of the blockchain solves one of the biggest issues, which is distribution and the recording of the database. Blockchain. And the company one company that is leading this space is called Green. Green did not go through an ICO, which is why we are backing this. They are selling mining machines where their coin, there's going to be 50 billion coins ever in existence. 50 billion. There's going to be 25 billion mined in the first year. It started mining in July 4th. So by July 4th, 2019, 25 billion coins are going to be mined. In the first 6 months, meaning by the end of this year, 12.5 billion coins are going to be mined. And I got to be careful how I say this because I cannot give income claims. I cannot give talk about guarantees or projections. So I'm